Guillermo Gutierrez did this sculpture, The Crave, in 2017, where he placed children's toys, wood, and rusted metal objects together. He made this an interesting object in the sense that he thought it represented how people throw the old and bring the new. But he thinks the old isn't trash. It's something that should be kept or can be used. So he used it in his sculpture. As I was looking at it, you can see how the objects are placed in a certain way, but somehow there's a vertical and horizontal lines. There's squares dividing certain sections. And as I was looking at them, I could see those sections being divided. Also, the color that was being most noticed throughout this object was the color brown. And I think this represents the old, the rusted, the old-fashioned sense the
Next
artist
up, we have the
wanted to
Medusa
bring
Mariana
into this
by
sculpture.
Vic Muñiz in 1999.
She used a ceramic plate to place the 18th century BC monster Medusa. As you can tell, she used the spaghetti sauce to create the image of Medusa, but also she implied lines with this sauce. As you can see in your left upper corner, there is sauce implying a line, a hair, implying that terrifying wave. Also, as you see the noodles around the Medusa that represent the serpents who she carries around her head, you can see that line texture going, that firm texture happening there. Also in her nose, her eyes, everything is perfectly placed or it goes, as you can see the whole image of her face. And by adding the red, the yellow, and the black, you can see the whole image has a lot more. Has that terrifying monster we are all talked about. And I see it has a great way of representing the Medusa. Even though it is food, it is realistic, and it is fun to look at because it's a different way of looking at art. Rather than using real paint, she used the spaghetti sauce, which is an incredible way of creating another painting in a ceramic plate.
Next, we have the Corrido by Sig Peña 2018. This was my favorite painting from all of the museum. The reason for it is because the way the artist used objects around the musician to represent something, at least to me. I see the lagartos and I think the plaza. I see a flag from Juarez, from Mexico to the United States, and I think Juarez, I think El Paso, and how the cars driving to it, I think it represents how people can travel from one city to the other with no problem when you live in El Paso. Also, let's look at the details of the fact that he used orange in the background rather than using a blue, a light blue, or whatever other color he could. I think he used a neutral color to give it that representation, that the whole point of the image is not the background, but the objects around it. Meaning that the fence behind it is not a main thing in this painting. And the fact that it represents El Paso and its music and its traditions makes it a lot more unique and meaningful, at least to me.